Season 8 of Superior Angling TV is brought to you by Eskimo Ice Fishing Gear. On any given year, the typical starting point for the ice fishing season is the third weekend in November. And more times than not, by Thanksgiving, we can usually ice fish on any inland lake in the state. Walleyes, crappies, perch, you name it. We can typically chase it by Thanksgiving. However, this year is much different. September and October alike both set records for warmth, and early November wasn't far off as well. Fish movement and positioning was delayed as summer-like temps overstayed their welcome long into fall. And here we are, the first week in December, and the cold has hit us like a ton of bricks. Daytime highs went from 50 to single digits in about 2 weeks, which caught us all by surprise, including the fish. We have big trips, and we also have local trips. We have trips with high expectations and trips with zero expectations. Each trip has a special place in our ice fishing agenda on a yearly basis. Sure, the big trips where we ice camp in far off remote areas are fun, but they are also taxing. Snow, slush, planning, logistics, there's a lot that goes into them and they demand a lot from us. However, our local trips are near and dear to our heart. There's nothing like venturing into your own backyard and catching fish, a mere 20 minutes from home. This episode is one of those trips. As other lakes in the state are still locking up with fresh ice, there are some shallow, smaller lakes nearby that provide both great fishing and great ice conditions. Welcome to Season 8 of Superior Angling TV. Good morning and welcome to Season 8 of Superior Angling TV. We're pretty excited to get this season underway. All the content that you see, all the ice fishing footage that's going to air for the next 12, 13 weeks is going to be shot and edited and aired within the same week. So we have a lot of work ahead of us, but we're very, very excited to get this season underway. Here today, it's early December and we have first ice, our first time out for the year. So we're just kind of excited to bust out all the gear, kind of, get the cobwebs out and put some fish topside on the ice for the first time this season. So again, first ice, we've never been out here before, so we want to practice safety. I would say, the number one safety tip is if you got one, bring a water rescue dog with you, such as Meeks here, right? They got web feet, Newfoundland. He's got hair that floats. He likes belly rubs. He loves ice fishing, so if we fall in, he can rescue us. No, but in all seriousness, flotation suits, use a chisel. You can never be too safe first ice. Yes, everyone's excited to get out there and catch fish, but we have to practice safety because, lakes are, they can throw surprises at you early season like this. But, behind us here, we probably have 4, 5, 6 inches of good solid ice. As we go out, we're going to kind of spud with our Eskimo chisel here and make sure it's all safe. But yeah, we're focusing on smaller lakes that freeze fast, that are a little bit shallower, right? So panfish lakes, perfect lake to get out, the first couple weeks of the season and chase after panfish, right? They can have some excellent fishing, and they're relatively a lot of smaller bodies of water that freeze good, are safe, and you can kind of get a bunch of hook sets in and catch a bunch of great fish. So that's kind of what our plan is today, is to chase bluegills, chase crappies north of Duluth here on a smaller inland lake that has good safe ice. So I'm looking forward to today. We're gonna get all their gear out, and it's gonna be a fun time. So stick with us. It's gonna be a good one. Yeah, Meeks can walk first, Meeks. Yeah, good solid ice. Those lakes that are a couple hundred acres, a little bit more, relatively shallow, 10, 15 feet. They freeze good solid ice. They're your first to freeze, and kind of good practice to get in the habit of fishing those for the first week or two of season. So until their bigger bodies of water freeze up, and then we can chase other species like walleyes or, trout later in the year. But the first couple weeks, it's a fun time of year to chase panfish. Here we go, slippery ice.
Got to go, boy. We need to put a harness on them and then somehow clip a rope on the harness.
There we go. We made it. Not a bad walk. That's another nice part about smaller lakes. You don't have to walk very far. So kind of as a general rule of thumb, there's kind of two ways to approach panfish lakes. Some lakes, especially up here in northern Minnesota, are very shallow. Like the whole lakes are, for example, 6, 7, 8 feet of water, right? On those lakes, kind of how we would approach it is to set up on kind of a shoreline break and just kind of sit there and let the fish come to us, right? Shallow water, you're not going to really find fish. You know, lakes that are 6, 7 feet of water, the majority of your crappies or bluegills are going to be right on bottom. You're not going to be able to see them with sonar. Other lakes, like this lake, you know, a lot of this lake is very, very shallow, but we have a couple deeper holes. And early season like this, we want to focus on those deep holes. And when we do that, we fish outside. We kind of punch a 50, 60 holes, and we kind of hop around and try to locate these fish on sonar because they will suspend a little bit. Some lakes, you know, they'll suspend halfway down the water column. Other lakes like this, they're going to suspend a foot or two off, but we can see those fish on electronics. So we'll drill a bunch of holes and kind of walk around, put our markums down until we see a fish, and then we can start fishing. So we're going to set up our Eskimo 650 ice house, kind of a base camp, get a little heat going in there, just a place to regroup, warm up the hands, or rig up some rods, whatever you need to do in that house. But we're going to fish outside, and yeah, again, this lake is it can have some decent potential, right? Crappies and bluegills are the plan. May see a pike, may see a walleye. You never know what you're going to run into, but there's also some decent sized bluegills that can be found here. So hopefully we can experience some of that today. Let's get our gear busted out here, get some holes drilled, and get some lines in the water. First drop. First drop. Oh, it's not a big one. It's not a big one. But you can't beat that because my line wasn't in the water for more than 3 seconds and we caught the first fish of the year. The best part about a fish this size is it's only up from here this season. That's cool though. I'll take it. Plus it was in the first 2 to 3 seconds of fishing for the season. Can't beat it. I love ice fishing. Let's catch a big one now. That one's coming quick. There he is. That one hit it good. He did not hesitate at all. It's fighting like a good bluegill. It's fighting like a good, oh geez, big perch. It's fighting like a big perch. That's a chunk. That's a stud. That's a gorgeous fish. Big female full of eggs. Look at that. Hey, a species we didn't plan on catching today, but that's a jumbo. That's in that jumbo category, man. Awesome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 big stripes on her. Gorgeous perch. That's cool. Big perch are fun. Big perch are fun, and as we were saying, this is just that first ice adventure, just get all the tackle and gear broken in, get in that rhythm of ice fishing because we have a lot of ice fishing to do here this winter. I'm looking forward to all the different trips, all the different species, and this is just our first outing to get back in the groove, get back in the rhythm of things. So got him. That one hit good. He came in fast. Yeah, it's gonna be a decent fish. Yeah, that's a nice crappie. Look at that. That's a nice crappie there. Gorgeous crappie. He just choked that jig. And that shows you can catch fish with, whether it's a spinning reel or the inline fly reel. Again, this scenario doesn't make too much of a difference. We got both rigged up here today, and that'd be a good keeper, right? That's a nice crappie. We'll let him go today. That's a lucky fish. That's a lucky, lucky fish. Beautiful. And that's what's nice about this depth. Not too deep. We can effectively catch and release. So we'll get back down there. Got it. That fish came in so fast. So fast. Man, this one's battling good. This is a heavy fish. It's a heavy fish. Look at that crappie. That's what we're talking about here, man. That's more like it. That there is a better representation of the crappies in this lake. So there's really no one right way to ice fish, right? But kind of what I like to do, I'm a little bit more impatient of a person. I can't just sit inside a house and just kind of wait for fish to come to me. So what I like to do is just, take my graph in one hand, my rod in the other, and we have all these holes drilled. So again, I'm just kind of walking, putting my transducer in there and keep moving until I see a fish, right? Like there's one right there, and then we can drop down on them. But that's kind of why we drilled these holes kind of spaced out, like as far as our transducer cone angle would see, right? So we're spacing them every, 5-6 feet, we're spacing a hole. And then we just kind of drop down on a fish. This one's acting lethargic. This fish is not moving, right? Like if that fish wanted to eat, it's had all the time in the world to come and hit my jig. So yes, I see a fish there. Yes, it's a good mark. It's just not gonna go. I'm not gonna just sit there and jig my jig a little bit differently and get that fish to bite. It's just doesn't work like that most days. So we're just gonna simply reel up and move on, right? Put my mitt back on. It's a little bit cold here, and just get to just try to. There's kind of one there on the outside of the cone angle. Just try to get my bait, in front of an active fish. That's all it's about. For some reason today we're seeing quite a few fish that are inactive, right? So we just got to try to keep moving, keep going till we find an active fish. So that's why it pays to have a decent electric auger, drill a bunch of holes tight together, and just give yourself lots of options to get down on these fish. When they bite, you know it, right? They come in quick, they come in hot, and you kind of brace for impact. What do you think, Mix? You want to fish, don't you? Huh? You want to fish, don't you? Well, that'd be good. Fish or some ear rubs. Huh? You like your ear rubs too, don't you?
Yeah, this one.
That one's coming in.
A little higher.
You got him. You got him.
Pretty heavy, dude.
Is that a big one?
Yeah, he's doing some circles down there.
Circles mean blue.
Oh,
dude!
wow.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Holy crap!
Look
buddy.
at how big that bluegill is!
Jesus!
Miko!
Look at the size of that thing. That's probably one of the bigger bluegills I've caught in a long time.
That is so ridiculously big.
Jesus!
That's insane.
That fills my hand. Look at that against an 8-inch hole.
Miko wants to bite it.
Just look at the size of that gill. That is a monster, guys.
Buddy. Okay, that's a special fish. That's a special fish, Busker. That is one of the bigger bluegills I've seen in a long, long time.
Jesus.
Look at that, almost 11.
Jesus. That is
10 3/4.
Holy man.
What a special fish, Busker.
Look at the little bluegill circle there at the end.
Right. Yeah, I can't. 10.5. But look how tall that is.
Jesus.
That is huge, Busker. Huge. Huge.
That's a giant.
Buddy. Congratulations.
Heck
Meeks,
yeah,
you want to say hi? Yeah, look at that's a bluegill. Yeah, that's a bluegill.
Look at him to that 8-inch hole.
Oh my, yeah, it doesn't even fit in the 8-inch hole. It covers up the whole thing.
Oh, that's so awesome, dude.
Wow, buddy.
Heck yeah.
That is
that was sweet.
worth it.
That was so cool.
That could be like, that's a 29 pushing 30-inch walleye equivalent.
That's the bigger bluegill I've caught in a long time.
And that's the first bluegill we've seen. I mean, lakes like this can take you by surprise. They truly can, because like no one, like if people knew there were that size bluegills in here, there'd be a lot of other people out
We'd
here.
be surrounded.
People chase that caliber of fish all winter long.
Wow, that
So-
was a tank, man. Holy crap.
I don't know how official the Big Dipper measure is, but that's a big special fish, man. That's cool.
I think I was pretty close to 11 inches. That was
And
a
that
tank.
fish just showed up.
Yeah,
like,
and it was higher than.
it was higher. You had another one on bottom. That
Yeah.
one showed up and just pummeled it.
Committed. Nice. That was so nice.
Big fish. That's a way to kickstart our winter,
Heck
buddy.
yeah, dude.
What do you think, makes big bluegills? You like them? You like the big bluegills? Yeah. Miko approves. Miko approves. That's a good boy. Crazy, huh?
Jesus.
What plastic?
Just a little white plastic there with a tungsten Wonder
Bread head. Crazy,
yeah.
man.
That was awesome.
It's cool to see a fish like that gets me going. Like, I'm not a huge bluegill person, but seeing a fish of that caliber,
Jesus.
that's special.
I'm close to a pound, probably.
Yeah, oh, yeah, and it's cool to watch them release.
Oh yeah.
Right? That's a toad. I can't believe you just
Indeed.
caught that.
That was crazy.
Unbelievable. All right, well, I wonder if there's any more down there.
Right, let's see.
Where there's one bluegill, there's usually a couple more, so. Seeing any there?
Yeah, I got one on me right now. Got one about a foot
This
and a
one
half
might
off bottom.
go. There he did. He went, buddy. He's dogging me like a bluegill, maybe. They
Doing the
turn
old
sideways
circle.
and they pull harder than a crappie. I'm hoping, man. He's fighting good. Oh, jeez.
Another gill.
Another awesome gill, man. Look at that. Another beautiful, beautiful bluegill. That's a nice fish. Not a giant like you got, but
Yeah, it's still a good gill.
it's
though,
gonna
right
work,
there.
dude. Yeah, I mean, look at that. I love bluegills, man. They're so fun for me to catch through the ice. Put up a heck of a fight. They're special fish. They're unique too, right? Like, they're cool. They're cool, and they can get big.
Got one mark in here. Oh, wow, that thing just crushed it. Another one down there too. This one's kind of doing that pinwheel like another bluegill. Oh yeah, wow, another nice one. Jesus. Look at that one, not as big, but that's still 10-inch bluegill right there. Fills the hand. That same plastic there and tungsten jig. I had two on the graph, but this one was just a little higher and came up and you just smoked it. So aggressive. Let's get this one back here.
There he is. He hit that good. He hit that really good. Feels like a good fish. What's it gonna be, a crappie or a gill? Oh, nice. That's a nice gill. Gorgeous colors on that one. Look at that sunset orange. Gorgeous fish. That jig in the plastic. Yeah, that's a nice bluegill, man. There's some good bluegills in these lakes up here in northern Minnesota. They kind of fly under the radar, but you know, when you can find them, there's some good ones up here. Get that fish back quick. There he goes. 14 feet of water. That fish came in good. You can tell when they come off bottom, and you can tell when they have some motivation, some energy behind them. They move fast, and just transfer your eyes from your graph to your rod tip and wait to see that tip of that rod go clink and set the hook. So there's a mark. Got him. That one hit good. That one hit good. That's got weight to it. That's doing the bluegill. That's a bluegill. Yeah, you can tell by the fight. They just dog you right into the hole. It's gonna be a good bluegill. Oh geez, look at the size of this. Look at the size of that gill. That's a special fish, man. That's a big, big bluegill. Big forehead on it. Kind of an unofficial measure here. What do we got? Yeah, that's 10 and a half. 10 and a half, unofficial. That's a special fish, man. Very special fish. 10 and a half inch bluegill's big. Really big. I always say, it's important to release those fish. A lot of people think bluegills, kind of trash fish. They're special. They're good for the ecosystem. They're a really, really cool, valuable fish. And I always say an 11-inch bluegill, is comparable to a 30-inch walleye. So if you're going off of that, I mean, that's a 28-inch walleye, right? Big fish, special fish. And that's what I like to see. These northern Minnesota lakes, man, they can surprise you. They fly under the radar. They're overlooked by a lot of people. Sure, your locals will fish them, but they're definitely overlooked. Like, there's a lot of people that'll chase 10 to 11-inch bluegills like all year round, right? I mean, that's what they do, right? And for us just to catch that, you know, here on a local northern Minnesota Duluth lake is pretty cool. So that's awesome. That warms you up on this blustery December day. A lot of times I like to keep 2 rods by me just in case they don't want to bite. Just got denied on that rod. Let's see if, oh, we got real issues. Let's see if this one wants to go here. There he is. That worked. It worked. So when you can, travel with 2 rods, have 2 different presentations rigged up. This is fighting hard like a bluegill. Bluegills just dog you. They fight, yep, nice bluegill. They fight so good. Look at that fish. That's awesome. That's a very, very nice bluegill. Very nice bluegill. I love bluegills. So overlooked in northern Minnesota. They do not get much attention at all, especially through the ice. Go on, buddy. See you later. This is a hot hole. That's 2 fish out of this hole in a short period of time, but that's just funny. 2 tungsten jigs. They're the exact same jig head. One has a green plastic on it, one has a white plastic on it. And hey, sometimes it can make all the difference in the world, as we just saw right there. Yours gonna go?
I got one all over me.
I got a good one here too, man. Hoofda.
Come on.
Oh no, my reel! Dude, that's the problem with fly reels is sometimes you actually, we got a mess. You hit that free spool button and we got a mess. Don't do that. I still see the fish down there. Can we get a second chance on this? Got him. Second chance, man. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Feels like a decent fish. Yeah, it's not a bad crappie.
Oh, a nice one.
What do you think, Mix? What do you think, Mix? Huh? Crappie? You like crappie? Miko loves sturgeon. I think sturgeon are his favorite. He doesn't mind crappies though. No fish. There might be one down there, but is this one? This one's showing a little interest. But yeah, no, a good first outing of the year. A lot more to come. As we progress into winter, you know, we'll start some bigger trips, do a lot of overnight camping. Ice camping is always fun. Chase after walleyes, trout, you know. Who knows what we're going to fish for, but you can bet that we'll be out there fishing. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.